Hello children, back to grammar class. Today we are going to deal with grammar chapter Modal Auxiliaries part 2. The modal verb must is used to express compulsion or strong moral obligation, which means it is compulsory for us to keep our promises. Example: you must not make a noise in class. Look into the second example. Cars must not be parked on the road. Here, must not is used to express prohibition. Must is also used to express fixed determination. Example: I must have my money back, which means I am determined to have my money back. Must is also used to express duty. Example: a judge must be impartial, which means a judge has a duty to be impartial. Look into the second example. A soldier must fight for his country. Must is also used to express certainty or strong likelihood. Example: he must be mad to do this. It expresses certainty. Must is also used to express an inevitable result. Example: Mr. Sharma is the head of a multinational company. He must be very rich. The modal auxiliary may is mostly used to express possibility. It can also be used to give permission or request permission, although this usage of may is becoming less common. Example: may I use your pen? Modal auxiliary might is most often used to express an unlikely or uncertain possibility. Might is also used very formally or politely to ask for permission, and it is used as the past tense form of may when asking permission in reported speech. It can also be used to suggest an action or to introduce two differing possibilities. Example: you should pack an umbrella. It looks like it might rain. To modal auxiliary ought to is used to express desirability, moral obligation, and duties. Example: you ought to get better marks, which expresses desirability. Look into the second example. We ought to love our neighbors, which means it is our duty to love our neighbors. Getting into the third example, we ought to help the poor, which is an example of moral obligation. Coming to modal auxiliary, ought to have. Ought to have is used with the past participle, is used to indicate a past obligation that was not fulfilled or carried out. For example, look into the first one. You ought to have helped your sister, but you did not, which means it was your responsibility to help your sister out, but you did not. Now look into the second example. He ought to have been more careful, which means he was not careful enough. Now moving on to the next modal auxiliary, ought not to have is used to indicate disapproval of something that was done in the past. Example: you ought not to have laughed at her mistake, which means it was not right that you laughed at her mistake. Need as a modal auxiliary. Need is used only in negative and interrogative. Example: I need not copy out the whole page, which means it is not necessary for him to copy out the whole page. Coming to the next example, do you need to apologize to him? Need not is used with the perfect infinitives and may refer to the past. Example: we need not have waited for her arrival. The next example is, He need not have lost his temper. The modal auxiliary verb dare, which means venture or have courage, has the form of the third person singular present tense when it is followed by a negative and also used in the interrogative form. Example, he dare not go out alone on a dark night. Look into the second example. How dare he say such rude things about me? Now I want you all to pause the video and write the answer for the questions given. Now check with the answers. Hope you all have got the correct answer. Now I want you all to pause the video again to do the exercise 2. Now you can check with your answers. Hope you all got the correct answer.